Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, big happenings yesterday in South Korea. And I want to run this down and give you my layman's terms, layman's idea of what happened in South Korea yesterday. Here's something else interesting. After all this started happening, I always go through all the news feeds all day long. I stay very up on the news because I want to know what's happening right away. Because of this YouTube channel. The way I get a lot of views is to get the news immediately and come on YouTube and talk about it. And that's when I get the most views. So I try to stay updated on the news all the time. And I saw this taken off yesterday. So I go on Twitter because I want to see what I told you guys, I don't go into echo chambers. I want to see what everybody's saying about a certain news event. So I look at the conservative side, I look at the liberal side, I look at all sides of it to figure out what everybody's saying and what's going on. So I go on Twitter, right? Or I'm going to call it Twitter. I don't care if that's not cool. I hate calling it X. I'm going to call it Twitter. So I go on Twitter, and there's not a freaking peep. I usually go on there, and I see all the conservative MAGA mouths, talking about this and that. Elon Musk, Donald Trump Jr., Gorka, Sebastian Gorka, all the other Republican MAGA congressmen and all that. Cat Turd, MAGA Man, Patriot, whatever, Patriot AF, all these other Twitter MAGA mouths. I always see them, it's the first thing I see. So I go on there, and there's not a peep. Not a peep. I don't see nothing from Elon Musk, nothing from Donald Trump Jr. Still this morning, I don't see anything on Twitter. I don't know if there's something wrong with my Twitter feed, but I don't think so. What I do see is posts from Anonymous. Remember Anonymous? And he was saying the exact same thing I'm saying, that the whole MAGA world is kind of shocked. They got a dose of reality of what they voted for with Donald Trump. But this is what we're going to see coming down the pike for the United States. That's what I truly believe, and I believe it kind of shocked a lot of MAGA world, and they didn't have anything to say about it. I saw one ridiculous tweet that tried to blame all this stuff on in South Korea with their president. I believe his name is Yoon Suk Yeol, and he's a right wing, far right, conservative, authoritarian leaning president in a democratic country, exactly like what we have here now in the United States with Donald Trump coming in. He's like a Donald Trump, a little mini Donald. Forgive me for saying that. I don't mean to sound racist. He's like another version of Donald Trump. This is what I think happened. I think, you see in the media how a lot of countries supposedly are leaning towards authoritarian rules. And I think the president of South Korea saw Donald Trump being elected here, the United States, a very strong world power, electing authoritarian president. And he thought this is his chance. And he's been losing popularity. He's been losing a grip on the country. The opposing political party is the Democratic Party in South Korea, just like here. To me, what I see there is a kind of a mirror image of what we have going on in the United States right now. Okay, so South Korea yesterday, Yoon Suk Yeol, the president, I think it was 10:30. I think it was South Korean time. Everybody was going to bed. It was at nighttime, and he declares martial law. Now this means that he is shutting down no more political parties, no political parties. So like here it would be like Donald Trump saying, there's no Democratic Party, no Republican Party. He takes control took control over all the media, the television stations, books, literature, newspapers, everything. The state now has control of that. Curfews, no political party, everything shut down. And he said the reason for this was this is what he said. He said that there were certain people in the opposition party that were fans or were supporting North Korea, their enemies, their mortal enemies across the border, across the demilitarized zone. And there's no proof of that whatsoever. It really looks like he was losing popularity. He was going to lose popularity. He was going to be impeached, and he panicked and he imposed martial law just so he could stay in power. It was an authoritarian move. Picture this in America. Say Donald Trump in a year, he imposes these tariffs and they don't work. And the American people start getting angry. He did not win by any landslide. There's no mandate. He won by a very slim margin, Donald Trump. Okay, so it wouldn't take much. What if people started turning on him? What would he do? How would he react? Probably just like this, shutting down. He's already called the media the enemy of the people. I could see him doing this. If all of his ridiculous plans for tariffs and talking big against Mexico. Picture this. I'm a big guy, right? I'm 6'3", 6'4", muscular. Okay, say I went into a new town, all right? And nobody there had ever seen me scrap. They didn't know if I was tough, or anything. But I look big. I look kind of intimidating. So I go there and I start pushing people around, saying, you better not do this. You better not do that. To everybody else in town. What would happen to me eventually? Somebody would test me. Another big guy on the block would get sick of it. Because, I'd have a big mouth and I look kind of big and intimidating. But nobody's actually seen me throw down. Nobody knows if I'll actually, back up my words. So what would happen? Eventually, somebody will call me out. We'll say, enough's enough. Let's go. Let's fight. That's what's going to happen to Donald Trump. Has he ever really gone toe to toe with any of our actual enemies? North Korea, China, Russia? No. He's done the opposite. He's befriended them, and he's actually talked tough against our friends, England, Canada, Mexico, the people that we trade with. He's a big blowhard that's never backed up his words, and that sooner or later somebody's going to call him on it, whether it's going to be Putin or North Korea or China or whatever. They're going to say enough's enough. You're just because he's got all these campaign promises that there's going to be no more war. That him talking tough is going to be enough to shut down everybody else. That's not how it works. Sooner or later in real life, if you're talking tough, and pushing people around, sooner or later, somebody's going to make you back up those words. That's just human nature, and it's going to happen to Donald Trump down the line. So, in South Korea, there's a lot of video. I'll see if I can get the video and put it down below. The people all it was a beautiful thing. The people all came out en masse in the middle of the night and told the soldiers, no, we're not going to put up with this. What basically happened is Parliament, the Congress there, kind of rushed in to vote against him, to say, you can't do this, so we're going to impeach you. We're making a resolution that you cannot do, that you're done. And they pushed their way past the military, because the president had the Parliament blocked off, so they couldn't go and vote, so they couldn't take him out of office. But they pushed past the military. The people went out and stood up against the military, and the Parliament went in and voted this whole martial law thing null and void. So it's over for the time being, but the whole country is shook up and nobody knows which way this is going to go now. But the people and the opposing Democratic Party of South Korea said no, and they're voting to impeach the far right authoritarian conservative president. This is what's going to happen in the United States. And this is why when I went on Twitter, there wasn't a freaking peep. I've never seen this in all the years that I've been doing this, that I've been going on Twitter. I've never seen it. Everybody, all the conservative voices not having anything to say about it. Look, you tell me if I'm wrong. Check out Twitter. Let me know your opinion. Links are down below. I'll talk more about this coming up. Have a good Wednesday.